Welcome to Stones in the Wild, and this weekend I'm excited to show you my all-time top favorite camping spot located on the outskirts of Crested Butte. I'm totally convinced that this spot that we camp at is one of the all-time prettiest spots on the planet, hands down. To get to this epic spot, you go through the town of Crested Butte, up a narrow single-lane 4x4 road, and up to the Paradise Divide area. From here, there's no shortage of epic views, and you can even see the maroon bells. This spot is truly one for the books. It's got tons of hiking trails right at camp, rivers to play and fish in, waterfalls to jump in, 4x4 roads to explore, wildflowers literally everywhere you look, and tons of wildlife, including the rare Colorado tiger salamander, which we can catch in abundance at the lakes up by our camping site. We were lucky enough to leave really early Thursday morning for this trip, so once we got there and set up camp, we still had the whole afternoon to just kind of hang out and play. Drew had to use our Starlink to wrap up work, but the kids and I got right to it. We rode bikes, played pickleball, bocce ball, and of course had to go down to the lake to try and catch the salamanders. The next morning, again, Drew had to work, so the kids and I took a walk on one of the mini trailheads right at the site. We started along the Yule Pass trailhead, which we've actually done several times. This trail is amazing because it's relatively flat, and you get incredible views of Paradise Valley and Crested Butte the whole way along. It takes you right to the saddle between two mountains where the overlook is absolutely amazing in both directions. The trail continues several miles into the Raggeds Wilderness area, but Drew and I usually stop and turn around right at that ridge line. This year, it was just me, Carter, and Liam wasn't really feeling the hike, so we didn't make it that far and turned around at a mile. But I knew we had a big weekend ahead, so I wasn't that disappointed. After that, we headed back, made lunch, and waited for Drew to be done with work for the day. Once he was done, we headed down to one of our favorite spots along the Slate River. This is the absolute perfect spot for kids in the Crested Butte area. The river really isn't too deep to where you have to worry about them, but just deep enough to where kids can ride on tubes through the small rapids. After our afternoon at the river, we decided to head back up to the campsite as we were meeting a big group of friends for the weekend. Saturday was a huge day for the group. One of the absolute highlights of my year every year is hiking the West Maroon Bells Trail. This trail takes you all the way from Aspen to Crested Butte, and many people do it either as a day trip or an overnight backpacking trip between the two towns. While we haven't made it the whole way across just yet, every year we hike a couple miles into this trail because the wildflowers are the most beautiful, incredible thing I've ever seen. Pictures and videos will never do it justice, but everywhere you look, there's just fields and fields of wildflowers as far as your eye can see. We felt like we should be singing The Sound of Music the whole time, truly. You've got to check this trail out if you're ever in this area during July. The only pitfall of this hike is there's very little to no shade, and it's mostly exposed the entire 10 miles or so. But the good news is there's a perfect watering hole to jump in right next to the trailhead when you're done with the hike. This is informally known as Devil's Punch Bowl, and you can access it by parking right at the entrance to the Schofield Pass on the Crested Butte side and then walking just a few hundred yards. This year, we decided to also take a little 4x4 adventure and see how far we could drive down Schofield Pass with our big full-size trucks. This is one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous 4x4 road in Colorado. So we didn't make it too far before we had to get out and walk, but we were able to see some incredible views of the mountains and the Crystal River. If we were to keep going just a couple miles, we would get to the Crystal Mill, which we have hiked to before, but we weren't feeling it today as a big group and with the kids. So we just turned around and headed back to camp. Once we made lunch and regrouped, we decided to head back down to the Slate River for the afternoon, because why not? Like I said, it's the perfect spot for us as a big group because the boys can fly fish and the girls can just hang out on the riverbed and watch the kids have a grand old time. I couldn't believe it, but we stayed at the river until the sun was setting, and then we knew we had to go back up before it got dark because that road would not be fun to drive up in the dark, let me tell you. Another thing I love about this camp spot is that it is incredible for stargazing. Especially since we couldn't have a real campfire, we were able to see the Milky Way and tons of shooting stars. Liam even finally caught a shooting star, which he thought was the coolest thing ever. The next morning, we woke up leisurely, had a nice breakfast, and then packed up to head home. As always, we try and time our drive with Carter's nap time. Thankfully, he slept almost the entire 3.5-hour drive home, and we were home early afternoon, still enough to unpack and enjoy the day at our house. So if I can ever recommend one camping spot that's perfect for families, it's definitely this one. There's something to do for everyone, And like I've said many times, the views are just amazing. So if you're raising outdoor kids too or want to start, subscribe and follow along here at Stones in the Wild.